So you're a Gmail power user and you're probably already using labels. But do you know that there are 3 ways to create new labels? I'm going to show you those 3 different ways in this video. And when I'm talking about labels, I'm talking about your personal labels. These are the labels here under the system labels. And your personal labels can be used to help you organize and filter your messages. One way to create a new label is from the Labels area within your Mail settings. So I'll navigate to Mail settings. I'll click on the Labels tab. Here are my system labels, and here are my personal labels. So to create a new label, I'll just select Create a New Label, and I'll enter the new label name. This is called Quarantine. Okay, so I've created that new label, and there it is. It shows up here on the left-hand side. Now this label will also appear to me when I select a message and I go to my label drop-down menu. I see I can select that new label. The label also appears to me when I'm in the message and I click on the label drop-down menu or the move to drop-down menu. So that was one way to create a new label. Another way to create a new label is to select a message. By clicking on the check mark to the left of the message, you can also select multiple messages. Then from the Labels drop-down menu, I'll choose Create New, and now I can enter a new label name. I'm going to call that label Follow Up, and that label was applied to these 2 messages. Okay, and the third way to create a new label is when you have the message open. From the Label drop-down menu, you can create a new label, select Create New. We're going to be talking about nested labels in another movie, and I'll call this label Invitation. So those are the 3 ways to create new labels. So you can do it when the message is open, from the conversation list, or from the Manage Labels area of your Mail settings. How about color coding these labels? By default, if you don't put a color on the label, it's just going to have this sort of light gray background and this darker text here. I enjoy adding colors to labels. It helps them stand out. I also sometimes like using colors to help symbolize what the label is. So for example, for this priority label, a color that's priority is probably red. So I clicked on the color swatch and this showed me my label choices. So I'm going to make that red. And I'll set the color there. For calendar, because calendar is a blue icon, I'm actually going to make these blue. I've got this Linda Videos label, and I'd like to give this a custom color, meaning that it's not going to be one of these standard colors. I'm going to create a color that goes with Linda. So maybe I'll use some of the colors from the Linda logo. So I choose Add Custom Color. I'm going to go ahead and give this a yellow background color, and the text color will be black. And I can play around with that. I can choose another shade of yellow or this bright yellow. I think this yellow looked the best. Let's go back to black text color and I click apply, and I've now just created a custom color. So now when I add this Linda Videos tag, it kind of looks like the Linda color. So that's fun if you're working with a certain brand or maybe a university to create labels that match their colors. At any time, you can change the color of a label by just choosing a new label color or adding a new custom color. I do want to point out that when you have a label and that label has sub-labels, when you change the top label color, you will be prompted to set the color just for the top level label or all of the sub-labels. So if I set the color for all of the sub-labels, then photos and all of the sub-labels of photos will have this pink color. So those are the 3 ways to create labels and change label colors.